Perfect. All right, so good morning. Thank you so much for joining June's Partner Updates webinar. I'm here with Sopak. Say hello, Sopak.
Hi, everybody. Sopak.
All right, Sopak has been working with us for the past few months, working on a lot of partner resources. You have received some of his emails recently, so we thought that it would be a good idea to have him also join us during today's webinar. We have a few topics to cover with you. It's same structure as usual. We're going to be talking about partner resources. Then we're going to move into some business opportunities, and then move into feature updates and kind of do walkthroughs of the product in terms of what's new. All right. So as a quick agenda reminder, the two first topics are going to be the Partner Resources app. We'll be talking about it with Sopak. Then we're going to be talking about My Opportunities. So that's the survey that we're starting to collect data from you, and Sopak has some interesting insights around what we've collected so far. Then we're going to be talking about corporate plans. We introduced a concept a few months ago, and we have some updates around our corporate plans, and we want to show you how you can plug into our corporate plan offering as well as a partner. And finally, we're going to walk through the product. We're going to show some recent releases in the product that you, as a good partner, may be already aware. And also, we're going to give you a quick update on things that we're going to release in the next few weeks. All right? So without much further ado, let's continue the call. At this point, I want to make sure that if you have any questions, you can type them into the questions box. I think most of you are already familiar with that. So feel free to ask a question in the questions box. As usual, every month, we want to welcome our new partners. This month, we have seven new partners.
Yes.
We have Geeks on Tap, Alchemize from South Africa. Geeks on Tap is in the Asia Pacific region. Team Logic IT in the US. Will Oldham in the United States. The Secretary of Peace, I love that name, in the US. Then Lee Hyun in Vietnam. And then App Developer Studio in South Africa. Welcomes, and thank you so much for investing in the AppSheet platform and being part of the AppSheet partner community. We look forward to collaborating with you in the next few weeks and months. Now, another new partner we want to welcome is Certica Labs, which is Google's largest partner in Latin America. Certica is a Google partner that works in Google Cloud and Google Suite offers in Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, and they're also expanding to other regions in South America, I believe Argentina. So we want to welcome Certica Labs also during this call, because we've started to do some work with them in the past few weeks, and it's a very interesting approach of going to market. So for example, last week I had the opportunity to be with the Certica Labs team in Colombia, where they organized an event to promote mobile app solutions with a whole bunch of customers of Certica Labs in Colombia. So we had a chance to present the AppSheet value proposition to a lot of Certica customers. And it was a great way for us to discover new opportunities and get in touch with new customers. We were very interested in seeing how partners really work with us to go to market and present the value proposition of AppSheet. During that visit, we generated over 10 leads for potential AppSheet proof of concepts, and that's a very interesting thing. That means that we had a chance to really go and talk with major Colombian companies that work already with Certica, and then present the value proposition of AppSheet, and then move forward into some sort of proof of concept stage. So we believe that there is going to be more opportunities to move forward there. And finally, we are all working on more marketing activities in Mexico and South America, that all around the same context. Let's find opportunities for mobile app solutions within your existing customer base to find that opportunity to expand and provide new services. So once again, welcome Certica Labs to the AppSheet partner community. We really enjoy working with you, and we're looking forward to collaborating in the future. All right, let's move into next topic, which is partner resources. All right, so I'm going to say we launched the, when did we launch the app? I'm going to say we launched the app early this year, the first version of the app. And we have a good set of partners using the Partner Resources app, you know, on a weekly basis almost, to discover new leads, but also to have access to marketing resources, to have access to materials that they can use to go to market with AppSheet. And this is a product that we, as they traditionally say in software, we eat our own dog food. So we're making our own apps so we can collaborate with partners. So that's number one. But B, we find that every time it becomes more useful for you to grow your business with AppSheet. One of the features that is most commonly used in the Partner Resources app is the My Opportunities section, and also the lead opportunities, or the leads that we post on AppSheet. So I want to switch, let me see if I can do it very quickly. I want to switch into the app itself and show you what that is right now, or how it looks right now. Ooh, I'm getting ahead. This is not it. There you go. All right. I'm sharing charts that we should have shared before. All right, so yeah, you got a glimpse of the new features. So one of the things that we released with SOPAC in the last 3 weeks maybe was an update to partner to the leads that we provide to our partners. We changed the model from one partner per lead to up to 5 partners per lead, right? So maybe, I don't know if you want to kind of tell us a little bit more about what we did in the leads section of the app.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. So yeah, we create more opportunity for partners to pursue the leads in the that generated by AppSheet. So let me walk you through what we have changed so far. So if you click on the lead for each one, you can see that you have an opportunity to look at the description as well as all the budget range, which has been there before. But also, we allow them to have status on the lead, meaning as you look at the bottom, if the lead is active, meaning there's less than 5 leads or 5 partner currently contact the leads. So we increase the amount of partners, which allow you to pursue more and interact with the partners more than before. So if you can connect with the partners,
sorry, with the customer.
With the customer, I'm sorry. So then you can just like before, fill in your name, fill in the partner comments, like how would you want to pursue that opportunity, select all the agreement, and simply save, and that will put you into a market for that potential potentially.
Save here because then I will take this log.
Yeah.
I'm going to discard that, and I'm going to move back here.
And then from there, you once we start a lead, we should probably fill out the My Opportunity, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's move to that. And thanks, Sopak. So at the end, you just have up to 5, as Sopak was mentioning. You can see the other partners that have approached that customer, right? So you can see who they are. And then you can just get in contact with the customer. The customer will decide who they want to proceed their opportunity with, okay? As Sopak was mentioning, one way of tracking how you've been doing with those opportunities and other opportunities that are available to you through the AppSheet, that are not available to you through AppSheet directly, but they are your own leads that you're pursuing with AppSheet, you can go to My Opportunity. And this is the new feature that Sopak released in the app about a month ago? Yeah. Probably about a month ago. All right, so that opportunity itself, what it does is just a quick survey where you can say the type of deal that you have, so let's say manufacturing company. You don't have to provide a lot of details because we just want to know how many you're pursuing and the general amount or volume of the opportunity itself. You can define the source, so you can say, hey, it came from the community because I was collaborating with somebody in the AppSheet community and then it turned into a deal. Or you can say that it was generated by the AppSheet team, so that's the ones that you see in the app, right? Or you can choose the somebody who reached out to you inside of the partner directory, or that you as a business built on your own, like, okay, yes, I did an event somewhere in, let's say, Colombia, and I generated 10 leads, and I'm going to pursue them. So that's what you get here. So I don't know if you can walk us through the other options there, Sopak.
Yeah, so from there you can easily track of which stage you're currently on. So let's say the first time we identify the lead, and then you contact the person, and once you reach some sort of like good establishment of method communication, you then move to contact. Once they decide that the customer would like to pursue the lead with you, then you can go to confirm, and from there, once you finish the development and whatnot, you can whether close win or close loss.
Got it. One thing that we want to clarify in this stage is, let's say that you received the lead from AppSheet. So you found that lead inside of the leads page in the AppSheet app. Um, and you interact with the user, with the customer, and then you create your lead and you mark it as confirmed. You mean that I know that this is an actual lead, I'm trying to pursue it, but the customer is deciding between two partners. Then within a couple of days, they inform you that you're no longer the partner that they're going to work with. They're going to work with a separate customer. What we want you to do at that stage is to say that it's closed and it's lost, meaning that you didn't win the deal, but that opportunity that you created is closed. It's important to move your deals into closed won or closed lost, so we have an understanding of the duration or the velocity that it takes to start the deal and then close it, whatever the result is. Just keep in mind that whenever you reach out to an AppSheet customer that you want to serve, if they decide to work with you, or if they decide to work with another partner, you still should come back into my ops and then declare if the opportunity is closed or lost. All right. The other information, Sopak, I think is pretty basic, right? Industry, country, yes, state, province. What we need to make sure that you use properly here is this section about the number of users for the apps. So how many people are bound to use, yes, the app, right? And then you want to make sure that the target number of apps is also clear. So, I expect this customer to only be using one app for 50 people. So you just say 50 people are going to be using one app. And then you also make an estimation of what's the monthly recurring revenue for AppSheet. So this is separate from how much you're going to bill your customer. How much you bill your customer is for you to decide. But from an AppSheet revenue perspective, we're always interested in seeing what this is. So let's say that it's going to be a $500 per month revenue for AppSheet, right? Then you can set the open date. If it's today, then it's today, or if it was slightly in the past, you can mark it that way. And then when you mark it as closed, won or lost, we want you to also mark the close date as well. And then you can add notes.
Yeah.
All right.
And as a reminder, you do not have to. You can enter leads that you have done in the past or that you can remember, just to get a better statistic or data into the collection.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sopak. So I think my op is actually a very good resource for two things. A, it gives us some visibility into how you are doing, but B, is going to help you get organized around the leads that you're pursuing. And that's the next level of what we want to achieve with my ops, which is giving you insights into how all the partner community is doing, but also how you are doing on your own. And that's where we're starting to add new features into the app. This is not yet released to you, but it's going to be released to you very, very soon. And this is let me just discard this because I don't want to create fake opportunities. This is the dashboard that we're creating based on the opportunities that you are posting. So maybe, Sopak, you can walk us a little bit through what you started to add here and what we want to achieve. So let's just move ahead. And actually, before we move forward with the dashboard, want to make sure that if anybody has any questions at this point, we'll be happy to answer. So you can always type into the questions box. We'll be happy to answer questions that you may have. If the question is not related to to what we're presenting, we'll just acknowledge that you have a question and we'll try to answer that at the end of the call. Okay? Good.
All right, so this is what I've been working so far on, collecting all those data points you have been provided in my ops into creating a really cool dashboard where you can view basically the industry or the market statistic. Now let's look at the first graph. First graph is meaning industry average of app. So the intention of this graph is to show you that within each industry, there's a certain needs for how much apps based on everybody filling in the My Ops survey. For example, if you look at agriculture, you see that, there's three, on average in UK, there's 3 apps needing for that. For different industry, you could see that there's different amount of apps and needs for this certain market.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to add a comment here, which is it is going to start allowing you to see where is more like propensity of opportunities. So as you're starting to explore in your own market, where can I go and sell solutions with AppSheet? This is going to help you identify those because it's going to aggregate, let's say, that what other customers are also pursuing. There's a little bit of an outlier here with education. I think there are a couple of opportunities with a high volume of apps here. That's why education is popping up very highly here. Over time, this is going to be more normalized and you'll see the peaks in other sectors. The other one that we've noticed that has a higher volume of apps is retail. And then we also see something around medical here. And then when we see this, this is the average number of apps around those opportunities. That means that the more apps you get to work and develop, the more opportunities you have, right? This is not just users, it's actual number of apps. But you'll see that insurance is pretty low, hospitality is, non-existent. So this is where you start seeing the opportunities are the sectors that you want to pursue. So what about the status and this little donut chart?
Yeah. So the status is to give you a sense of, based on everybody's deals or leads, what's the what stages are they currently in? As you can see, there's like 65% of them, all the deals are currently in confirm.
Go ahead.
And then when you look at confirm, you see that, oh, there's over an average $7,000 currently. This is a stat for the confirm stage.
Confirming that stage. Excellent, excellent. All right, we have a couple of questions. Just want to make sure that we can answer that from Manny. All right, so Manny says, can you respond to opportunities after registering the lead? Can you respond to opportunities after registering the lead?
Yes, I'm actually currently working on that. So essentially, after you register for the lead, it would take you directly right into the survey, so you can finish filling that out into one step rather than going into a different tab.
Awesome, awesome. So in the MyOps, so pretty much what Manny is saying is, look, I want to create an opportunity in MyOps, but that opportunity is coming from an existing lead available in the other tab, right? So just to clarify, you have a lead here, you have a list of leads here, but you want to get started in MyOps and create an opportunity where you can actually pick the available lead from the other place. So you can report this one, and at the same time, you're sort of requesting to join the other one. So yeah, I think we're working on that, and there are ways of achieving that. So thanks for the feedback, Manny. The other question from Manny is, also maybe some promotions looking at the leads will be helpful. Can it be done? Manny, can you explain a little bit more? What do you mean by promotions looking at the leads? I want to make sure that I understand what you mean by promotions. Okay, let me just close Manny's questions. David's question is this dashboard enabled for AppSheet partners? So the answer is not yet, but it's going to be. That means that if you have access to the Partner Resources app, you will see the dashboard very, very soon. We're just honing down in some of the details that we're going to present. We also, most importantly, want to make sure that A, you get to see your individual information, and B, any aggregate information, you don't get to see the details about that. So you just see the aggregate information of the dashboard. So you will have a version of this dashboard very, very soon. So the question from Michael Sorensen is, where to find the AppSheet Leads app? That's a great question, and that's the call to action. If you are a partner in this call and you don't have access to the AppSheet Partner Resources app, that means that you have to send us an email to partners@appsheet.com. And I'm going to put it in the chat because last time a lot of people were asking for it. So partners@appsheet.com. Go to partners@appsheet.com, send us an email and say, I need access to the Partner Resources app. If you are a listed partner, we will automatically invite you to the app. If you are not yet listed as an AppSheet partner, we will need to make sure that you go through the onboarding process for partners, that you are listed, and then you sign the agreement before we can send you an invitation.
I'm more than happy to help you, any available partner who are interested in becoming on board with this, to walk you through the process.
Perfect. All right, let's go back to questions. So that was Michael's question. We have quite a few actually very quickly. So David says, I don't have the dashboard. As I mentioned before, David, we're going to publish it soon. So you won't get to see it right now, but you will get to see it. Manny says, like size of the deal. So I think what Manny is saying is, look, can I include some sort of, when you say promotion, I believe you're talking more about more like a volume discount. So if the size of the deal is large enough, I will probably want to get some sort of a volume discount in the app. We have a resource for you to get a custom quote from us anytime you have a deal that you think should get a volume discount. It's already inside of the app, and it's called custom quote. So you can come to us and say, look, I have an opportunity name called X. I am Manny, and I am Manny at partneremail.com, right? And then my customer, this one we do need your customer, but don't worry about it. It's just for our internal consumption, so it's not a problem. So let's say that the customer is the airport in X country, right? And then you say, look, I'm going to sell premium licenses and an annual subscription for 400 users, right? And they are going to have about 20 different apps. When you provide this information with any details that you can provide, we are going to get a notification of your request, and then we will create a custom code for this opportunity. So this will include what you call promotions or some sort of volume discount, okay? This is not going to automatically populate my ops because these are far more details than you would want to share in the my ops section. So this is a separate thing where you get a custom code from us. All right, let's go back here. Perfect. And Reza asked for custom, what is custom code? I don't know, Reza, if what I just described is good enough, or if you want me to give more details on custom codes. All right, perfect, Reza. Thank you. Reza just said that that was enough. I didn't know if I wanted to talk more about it or not. Thanks, Reza. All right, so let's get back to the conversation. So the last thing that you wanted to show was industry lead progress, and can you tell us a little bit more about that section over here in the third section?
Yeah, so essentially for lead progress is it's the same data information for lead status, but the idea is that you get to see the actual amount of dollar within each state, where for status you see an aggregated percentage of those deals within the state. So as you can see, it's like in confirmed states, it's over $50,000 of estimated generated revenue for that specific stage.
Got it. Perfect, thank you. So this is going to be in two flavors. One flavor is the aggregate information, so you can see all of the partners' information. You just don't get to see the details, you just see the aggregate, right? And the second flavor is this dashboard view for your own opportunities. So you get a better idea of the industries you're serving, what you're pursuing, what your closed and lost ratio, what are the different stages that you have, correct? Yes. And over time, what we want to do is we want to hear from you what you want in this product. And that's the next stage, the next thing that we want to share about the Partner Resources app, which is about the 1-minute surveys that we want to share with you so we can learn more about what you want to achieve in the platform. I do have a quick question from Mark, and let me just go through the question and then go back to the presentation. So, are customers encouraged in any way to close off leads? At this stage, we do not know what the status is of any leads you bid upon. That's a great question, and that's something that we want to let's say, streamline, Mark, in a couple of ways. So, let's say that 5 partners bid for a job for one customer. That one customer can decide to do a few things. The number one thing that they can decide to do is choose a partner, choose one partner, and start to work with them, and then let the other partners know that they're not going to be working with them directly, right? So that's one. That may or may not happen. If it doesn't happen, that means that the partner is going to choose one person, and they won't let the rest of the partners know that they chose that partner. For that, we're going to find ways of having the customer let us know that they have selected a partner by the actual customer, not by the partner. But what we expect the partner to do too is, because they have added their opportunity into MyOps, if they won that deal, they should be letting us know that they won the deal. So out of 5 partners, 1 wins the deal, the partner should let us know, I won that deal. So the other 4 partners know what the result is, just in case the customer is not letting their other partners know what their decision is. We're going to move towards the direction of also getting more feedback from the customer into what they have done in terms of how they're working with the partner, giving feedback about the work they have been doing with the partners, so we can rate our partners and then kind of give them more incentives based on how satisfied those customers are. So that's one of those options. And it's all about the customer letting us know what the partner gets to do or not. Now, the other option, the other thing that the partner can do, and that one is way, way beyond our capabilities, but we will do some actions around it, is they may post a lead saying, I'm interested in X, Y, or Z. 5 partners respond, and then they don't choose any partner. They just go silent. And if that happens, we will try to follow up with customers anyways. We'll let them know, look, you submitted a request of 2-3 weeks back. Did you engage with a partner? Can you tell us the name of the partner? If they respond, we will let the community know. But if they don't respond, they just go silent. Our advice, if the customer goes silent and you don't get a response from them, I think some of our partners already do that. And I don't know if anybody from Able3 is in the call. Maybe Jerem is in the call. Let me see. Jerem may be in the call. So and Jerem, feel free to share with the community what you do. But what I've seen Able3 doing when they're reaching out to customers and the customer goes silent is after a certain period of time they just close the opportunity just because it went cold and the customer may not respond. So they automatically close that deal. So that's something that you could also do, Mark. Let's say after 3 weeks and there's no response from the customer, you can just close it and assume that it's lost. So that's the other opportunity that you could do. And Jerem, correct me if I'm wrong into what you do with Able3, because I think you're the only one that I can see in the call. All right. Jerem's message is, yeah, that is correct. Thank you. All right. So let's continue in the conversation here. 1 second. So we were talking about, okay, so what is the next stage into what services we want to deliver through the Partner Resources app? And the next stage, now that we're in a position to give you more insights and more feedback into what the community is doing, is to start asking you for those different, let's say, features or pieces of knowledge. And that's what we're going to do with the 1-minute surveys that we're going to be launching, like, I think this week, if not next week as well. Yes. So Sopak, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So starting from next week, we're thinking of launching what we call maybe partner insight survey. It's the idea of that you can basically, it's the app created for you. So we want to hear a voice from you to allow us to understand what is it that you want the app to have, what is it you'd like to see, what kind of feature is more interesting than other, or maybe some tweak of change that you would like to integrate into the app. And we want your voice to hear, to be heard, and we want to create the app that you will enjoy and you will use and utilize to maximize your market size.
Fantastic. So you'll be seeing in some of our future partner newsletters a link to the quick survey, and also the quick survey is going to be available inside of the Partner Resources app, so you can ask for some things. My first recommendation of what you can do is, as you see the Partner Insight section where you start seeing the different charts, maybe you want to see different types of charts. Just let us know what you want to see, and with that we can just go and build that view and add it into the dashboard. All right? Perfect. So let's move on. I'm going to flip back into the presentation. Let's move on into the second topic, which is corporate plans. And this is just a quick reminder that we have corporate plans. That means that if you want to sell into larger organizations, we can custom build a quote for you, as Bresa's question before and Manny's question before. We can do that in terms of volume, but also additional services and more technical resources for that customer as well. We're working in 2 tiers of of corporate plans. What we call it corporate A, or the power plan, which is what you see here in this little screen on the left, and then what we call a more enterprise or a more management version of the platform, which is called, let's call it corporate B for the time being. Both plans include additional services and additional priority, like let's call it technical priority, into certain services that the platform provides. For example, the corporate A plan or the power plan includes features that are going to allow the customer to have better or faster running apps. based on resource allocation and based on versioning, and also about scaling out some of the data that the user already has. This is going to allow you to sell and expand into existing app creators and app scenarios that may not want to create a whole bunch of apps for an organization, but they just want to make the existing app scenario run faster. So this is an interesting opportunity for partners that already have customers and they just want to scale out that single or that smaller amount of apps that they want to deploy. The second section, the one on the right, is all about control. And this is when you want to sell AppSheet to organizations, so you can create the platform for everyone to make their own apps out there. So you become this consultant and advisor and help them create their own apps rather than create the apps for them. This plan is a higher value plan that is targeting IT departments rather than individual app creators, and it should include support and onboarding services and training as well. This opportunity here on the right is something that is also going to be pretty big for partners, because if you manage to sell this enterprise management product to that customer, you can become the trainer and you can become the support for that organization. That means that you can have recurring revenue just from services rather than just from the licenses. So this is where you start to get also a lot of value by having those interactions with larger customers. As an AppSheet team, we're also pursuing corporate plans aggressively. We have the business team in the AppSheet at AppSheet is targeting companies and trying to achieve and sell those deals, but we also want to go to market with our partners and close those deals as well. So start thinking beyond the licensing, and let's see how we can package those offerings together so we can go to market together. There's a big opportunity in the corporate plans around support, right, around onboarding and training, which many of you already offer. So what we want to do with you is, as you're trying to win one of those bigger deals, you can talk to us so we can go and provide a unified way of going to market. There are a few questions, maybe I'm going to check them out. So one question from Manny is, for corporates, the big challenge is tech support price plan. Anything like the current support option. So what we want in these corporate plans, is to really make sure that that you can become that support and that advisor. That means that we can quote the support cost and the onboarding cost as what you are going to offer, rather than something that is fixed from the AppSheet team. If we make it fixed from the AppSheet team, but you are the one that's going to deliver, as you know from the way we work with partners, there are ways for us to achieve that. But in general, the way you want to work it out is you take care of the priority support, you take care of the onboarding packages so you can train your users, and you can even add more professional services, like initial design of the apps or initial maintenance. As a partner, you can do that as well, but all framed around the corporate package. Daniel is making a very good point. Both columns look exactly the same, and don't worry about this. This is just for us to show you that there's going to be two tiers. This is not the material that you're going to use for the corporate plans. What you're going to understand, what you're going to see is that there are going to be two tiers. One for more power, so better, the apps running faster, and the second one that is more about controls for IT departments. We will give you those materials in the AppSheet Resources app, and we'll let you know via the newsletter. So question from Reza, what is the maximum number of users for the entire price of $2,500 in corporate plan? So that $2,500 is not the cost for the users. It's the cost that we would start quoting our users for onboarding packages. So just imagine that you want to build that relationship with the customer and say, I'm going to train you on AppSheet usage, and I'm going to train 10 of your employees to create the apps that they need. And I'm going to sell, let's say, 10 hours of training, and that would be the onboarding package. So it starts at $2,500. That's what we recommend our partners to start quoting for those corporate deals. But there's no maximum or minimum number of users. It's just the training that you want to deliver, okay? Now, in terms of the packages, they will all include a certain number of app users in the plan. It's a smaller number of users. It's somewhere between 40 and 100 users. For some of the customers that have a smaller number of users already included, and they just want to get started with the additional services from the corporate plan. So that's a different quote, and you'll see that the prices are more different, and you will see the pricing page in the Partner Resources app when we publish. All right. So in summary, we're talking about a plan that is catered more to app creator or business units that already have apps and they want to get more out of the apps that they have. That's one. The other one is about managing and providing the resources for teams to control how apps are created in the organization. So those are the two layers of plans that we're working on. Okay. We have a quick question. Question from Manny. Manny says, typically the users are spread across team and enterprise and all of them are part of corporate plan. Yes, especially if you're working on the corporate plan that allows an IT department to manage and control how people create apps. So you will have that spread around in the enterprise, and then from a centralized team dashboard, you can control many other users. From the power plan is more about having one app creator or a small group of app creators that have one AppSheet account, and from that AppSheet account they just want to have enough resources to better deliver those apps. That means that they have a slightly better performance, that they can control and have better analytics on the usage of those apps, and they're not thinking about creating a group of app creators, they're just thinking about their particular scenario. Both are corporate plan options. One is for smaller groups, the other one is for larger organizations. All right, I want to move forward just because we have 20 more minutes, and I want to make sure that we talk about product and releases. I don't know if we're missing something on resources for partners, Opp? No. We're good to go? All right. Quick summary on recent releases, and let me know if you've seen this stuff or not. I'll try to demo as much as I can. You guys know that my favorite part is trying to demo stuff and see how far we can take our product as we walk through the calls. So we have three buckets. The first bucket is some features that have already been released. Actually, the first two buckets are around that, but the first one is about how you interact with the app. The second one is about how we interact with the editor. And the third one is a couple of features that we're going to release very, very soon and that have been recently released and are going to be updated. So this is more of a roadmap update in the third bucket, okay? Feel free to ask questions and provide feedback as we walk through this. Now, number one, in terms of abilities that the AppSheet apps already have, and you may have been using them already. The first one is that there's now the ability to see the full resolution image based on whatever you tagged as full resolution image inside of an AppSheet app. So there's a button when you take pictures that allows you to see the full image button, not the scaled down version that is used in AppSheet for more speed, right? So you can actually see the full resolution image. That's useful for field teams that really want to look into the details of an image that they captured in the app. We'll try to see some of that later. The other one that is very useful for teams that want to find information in table view is that you can now sort information by column headers. This is actually not very recent. It's been a few weeks out. I just want to remind you that if you have a table view in your app and you have column headers enabled, you can now sort the data using those column headers. And finally, there are some new actions. Those new actions are sending emails, calling people, sending SMS, and also opening files. So if you think about what we've done with actions in the past, they were all about either navigating into data or changing the data. We're expanding the capabilities of actions to do a lot more. So now you can send emails automatically or compose emails automatically using the AppSheet platform by tapping on a button. Or you can call a phone number automatically by using the action as well. Or send an SMS or open a file like a PDF file. So you have all these new opportunities to create new interactions for your app users. And that is actually pretty useful. The other elements that I wanted to show you was the first one that I love, and this has been asked by a lot of people in the platform. We have now introduced the ability to copy rows in AppSheet. This is very helpful for field teams that are going to discover information as they go along. So let's say they're capturing information, but they realize that some of the information that they capture is very similar to previously captured information. A common example is construction. When you have inspectors at construction sites looking at different rooms, and each room looks about the same, and that person just wants to create everything that is the same by copying the row and then just doing the small changes that are just the actual difference in between rooms. And now with AppSheet, you can copy that row and enter the new data. We'll try to do that in a moment as well. We'll also show you a couple of releases that we did this week in the editor. The main one is that there's better table management. You'll see that in the table view. You can now have a better way of navigating between the tables that you have and make choices on the table. We really like how that operates. It's going to be helpful both for partners and also for like general users of the platform. And a couple of features that are in beta mode, but we want you to test out, are the worksheet bulk read. And that's especially for Google users that want to see if there's a faster way of reading their spreadsheets. That's an option available in the editor as well. And we've also introduced a whole bunch of minor performance updates, including one that is not really that minor, but you may be aware of it because you all have created that kind of equality functions between separate lists, which is this is the first time we really deprecated a way of creating certain expressions where you compare two different lists. If you're active in the AppSheet community, you will see that we describe what type of equality functions or what type of expressions we have deprecated, so they're not supported anymore. That means that the app is going to continue to run, but once you go into the editor and you have one of those expressions, you're going to get an error message and you're going to be asked to update that expression. So just keep that in mind if you haven't updated your AppSheet app in the recent, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. That's already in place. That means that if you have one of those expressions, your app may stop working once you open the editor. It's very simple. You just need to change the expression. Okay? Let's move into demo time. Let's try to see if we can find some apps to explain what's going on here. So I'm going into my apps. I have a whole bunch of apps that I've created recently, but I'm going to go for my good old national parks. So let me see if I can have a national parks app here. I don't know if this demo quick app is a national parks app. It may or may not be. I like the suspense. Yeah. Yes, it's national parks. Yay. All right, so we're good. Okay, so let's do a couple of things to show you the new things we've done in the platform. Feel free to ask questions. I know that I went very fast into the new features, but feel free to ask questions if something kind of just went over and you want to get more clarification on what the app does, okay? So first, you'll see now that the tables section, when you're in the data and you're in tables, the way we show tables is slightly different, but it's more practical to use now. Now we have a view that is similar to the other types of views, for workflows and UX views, where you see your table, you select the table, and you get your options for the table, which is, do you want the table to allow for updates? Do you want to allow it for adds? Do you want to allow it for deletes? And it's as simple as checking those options on or off, and that's it. Before, you had to go into different places and you have some, let's call it like ugly looking drop down that a lot of people didn't like. Now you just have a simplified way of entering the data and tracking the data. You also get to see the source, the qualifier, which is the tab that you're reading into, and the general summary of what that table is about. As usual, we have more settings so you can make more decisions on your table, like you can think about localization. We brought in security filters directly into the table, so you can make those choices inside of the security filter. That's pretty cool. And this is the other thing that I wanted to show you of the updates that we've released now, and I think this one is on a rollout, so you may not be able to see it, is we're changing how the expressions are written in AppSheet. So the expression builder is changing, the little flask. So if you click on the expression builder, you'll get a different view. And that different view, it starts to evaluate your expression as you write it.
Instant validation.
Yes, so my if expression is still kind of broken because there's something missing, if column equals 5. So you'll see that then 1, then 3. AppSheet automatically says, hey, I couldn't find a column called column. because there isn't any in this app. So it's automatically checking for your app and see what that expression is going to do. So that's going to be very helpful for many of you who want to test and verify if the expressions are running the way they are. We may do a few tweaks on this view to make it more functional and not have any impact on performance, but this is going to go in the direction of helping you write better expressions much faster, much more efficiently. I have a question, so I'll make sure that we can answer that. Mark says that instant validation is very cool. I also like validation, so thank you. No, good. Manny really likes it, and Bresa also likes it a lot. So thank you guys for liking the feature. That's awesome. This is all Sarah's work, so make sure that you can send Sarah some kudos in the community when you start exploring this feature. All right. Additionally, in the more settings, you can set up these different rules for your app, for your table, access mode as app creator or as app user, if it's shared or not. You can check on the source, right? So it depends on what the table is. So you can have all of these different choices for the tables. They're more efficient, a better way of working on that data. So it's very important for you to keep in mind what is coming up with this, with a table view, especially you as a more advanced app creator in the platform. A couple of things that I really like about this new view is that it now gives you the choice to go to the source. So if I click go to source, it's going to take me to Google Sheets because my app is in Google Sheets. Or it takes you to view data. So it just shows you a browser version of the data. And this is very useful for partners because some partners don't really have access to the source. They have access to the app and they want to see how the data looks like, what table is being read. And this is what will let you do that. So now you can have those two links, all right? Source and view data. I don't know if there are any questions on this. I don't see the little tab, so I think I can move forward. What else did we wanted to share in data on the update? So we have a new expressions and we have a new tables. The other thing we added in behavior is that you can now create actions that instead of changing data or navigating to one place, you can make a phone call or you can send a text message, right? Or you can open a file. Or, as I mentioned before, you can create an action to copy the row. And that's just amazing, and I love it. It's my favorite of the most favorite ones. So I'm going to put a little star to it, and I'm going to create a copy the row action. Let's call it copy. This is looking, if you are familiar with the National Parks app, it's just a big table with the list of national parks in the US. So I'm going to try to copy a new park with the same data from before. All right. So I create an icon and I save changes. I think I did a lot of changes in the app. I may have broken it. Let's see. It seems like we're good. I'm not getting a big error, so we're good. So now I can go into any row, right? And when I see the details, I see the copy button. And the copy button is very simple. I just click on it, and it takes me to a form that has pre-populated the information from the row that I wanted to copy. That's pretty much it. The only thing that it's going to ask me for in this case is the key, because you cannot have duplicate keys. So I can call it Acadia Demo, and if everything else is fine, I can just save a new row with a duplicate. I think this is just fantastic, and this is going to make people run much faster with the apps when they want to just use data that existed from a previous app. So this is very helpful, especially for field workers, as we were mentioning before, in engineering, in construction as well, and especially doing inspections. I wonder if anybody has questions at this stage about the new actions that we have included. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to type. Just a quick question. Question is, can the copy work on multiple tables? So you cannot copy into a new table. That's something that we're exploring on doing, but you can copy into the same table. So you pick a row from your table and you copy into a new into the same table. You just add a new row into the existing table. Can the copy work if a form has child forms? Wow, Jerem, that's a great question, and I haven't explored that, so I'm trying to understand the model. So if my form has drop downs, those drop downs are connected via reference to those other tables. Because I'm just copying the previous result, that's just going to be duplicate. So that means that I'm going to recreate the same connection as before. So in other words, the key for the child table is going to be selected. I might be looking at this backwards, but anyways, the key has been pre-selected. You can now select a new one if you wanted to. So you duplicate a row, and that value that had the ref, you can then go and update it if you want to, right? To the new value that you wanted to have, or to create a new child record if you want to. Is there a way to modify what the email SMS content is? That's a great question in workflows. I believe you can, and well, not workflows or actions. So I believe that when you select the option to see, let's say, send a text message, you get the option to define via an expression who you're sending it to, and you can also dynamically generate the message or just hard code the message. This is the message, right? Although it kind of hates me right now. Oh, it doesn't hate me anymore. So now it is. This is the message, right? So you can technically do that. You can type in the message. And email, I think you have the same option. No, maybe not. This one actually can. I think it can pick. It just opens the email. What is it? The email app. So I'm going to check with the team if we can allow to enter values inside of the email anyways. So you can at least dynamically select who's going to be that email sent to. Maybe the copy is not yet ready there. Richard's question is, can the row ID be auto-generated? So it could be if you had a formula where that value has an initial value, right? If it has an initial value for your key, that means that it is going to be auto-populated, and then you can just save it without having to change it. If you don't have an initial value formula, then it won't be auto-generated. Can the copy be used with dropping pins on a map? So I think you can, and let me see if I can do it here. Well, not dropping pins. Let me just clarify that. So if I have a map, so I have a map here, I could always just drop a pin on a map, pick any location and then just create a new row, and that's fine. But I'm not really copying anything. I guess what you want to do is you want to say, look, there's this place here, this park here. The record for this I want to copy, but then the location I want to mark a new location, right? So I want to create a new location here. The problem with that is that our pin right now just marks the location where you are in the phone, so you're not dropping a new pin. So actually that's a great suggestion. I think it's a great question for you to ask in the community as well, or even in the partner community, because it's interesting to see if you can have the option in location to not only indicate your location, but also pick one in the map from here. Question from Mark. Can you explain what can be done with read file? Does the file content just go into the field? Pretty much. And I think we should just do a quick video explaining what else you can do with the read file. But if you're pointing to another file, let's say a PDF file, when you're going to read the file or get the file, you should just be opening that file and be able to explore it. All right. So that's the objective of that file. But we will just make a quick video to show what it does. All right. Let me see if I'm missing something. I see a lot of questions, so I'll not get through them as quick as possible. So Gorm asks, could the copy function be extended to both save and copy in the same time? So yes and no, Gorm. The problem with copying is that you still need to provide a stable key. So you need to enter a value. If the key value is empty because there's no initial value, you should have to type something in. So you still need to go and pretty much enter something there. If it already has an initial value, you could just copy and then just scroll down and save as quick as possible. So it's not exactly there. And the biggest issue is the key in your table. All right. Stefan asked the question, it will be cool to select what row data is pre-populated in the email. So you do, actually. Maybe I misunderstood your question, Stefan, but this is what happens here. Uh, Let me just go back to the app. You can choose any row to copy, right? So I'm in the app. I can see all of my rows, and I see I want to copy Great Basin. Click on it and just copy it. If your question was about copying directly from the table view, we are going to have that available also during the summer, where you have some sort of action that you can make it happen in the apps. That means that instead of this type of view, let's make it a table view. So we're going to go and turn this one into a table view. And then you want to take an action directly from this view here. So let's say I want to just click somewhere here, long click or something, and say I want to copy this one. That's the one we're going to introduce. But for the time being, you can just click on any of the records and copy it. All right? So that's what is available right now. Last thing that I wanted to show you before we move out is the ability for you to sort data. And by that, you just want to show the column headers, right? So you want to show column headers in your app. And when you have column headers in your app, you can sort by, let's say, name, for example, right? I mean, the other ones right now, they won't sort because they're just icons. But in this case, it just lets me sort by name, all right? So you can do that. If you add the column headers, you'll be able to sort, which is very helpful for some users that just want to organize by, sales numbers or alphabetical or dates, for example. You'll be able to sort. All right. Very quickly, I want to move back into the two things that I want to let you know about what we're doing for new features, and then we can close our conversation today. The first one, we've already demoed the team dashboard. We're doing more updates in the next few weeks about the team dashboard. We really want the team dashboard to become a collaborative environment for multiple people to create and share apps inside an organization. So it's not just an opportunity for anyone to view and control how apps are being created. It also is going to become a place where people can have this kind of shared app gallery where they can get the apps that everyone else is creating. So you can really kind of foster this environment of collaboration and sharing that you want to have in organizations. So it's a great opportunity for you to tell the story for corporate plans, especially the ones that have team dashboard and management. And the second feature that I wanted to let you know that we're working on, and this one we expect to also release in the next few weeks, is the dynamic data partitioning. Has this whole idea that many of you have data sets that are too large, but you could break those data sets into different spreadsheets, let's say by state or by city or by type of customer. But you want the same table, because they all have the same structure, to be replaced in the app dynamically based on certain rules. So we're going to introduce this feature for one of our corporate plans where you can dynamically switch between tables so you can have a faster app experience. So instead of having a single table with, let's say, 50,000 rows, you have multiple tables, each one of them with a smaller number of rows, like 5,000 rows or 1,000 rows, and you have 50 tables to provide that kind of information. So that dynamic data partitioning is going to allow you to produce faster apps. This is especially helpful for some of our customers, especially Smartsheet, where you have a limit of 5,000 rows per table. So if you have a limit of 5,000 rows per table, but you really want to provide, let's say 15,000 rows, you can use data partitioning to achieve that. And we're going to be demoing this in the next few weeks as well. We have one question, and with that question, we will be able to close our call because we're almost done with the call. So the question from Manny is, will it be like user settings? Well, you can use user settings to create a rule that helps AppSheet decide which table in your database, in your cloud, it's going to fetch to make it faster. So let's say that in user settings you define the state, and because you define the state, then there's going to be a formula inside of the table rule that fetches the table that has the state that you want to find. That means that you only get the information from that state instead of having to have a big table that reads all of the data. And with that, first of all, I want to thank you for joining the call. I want to thank Sopak for joining the call as well. Say goodbye, Sopak.
Goodbye, partner. See you later.
All right. See you later. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, feel free to send the questions to the Slack channel. If you don't have access to the Slack channel, that means that we have to do some work with you. So please send us an email to partners@appg.com. Thanks for joining, and bye-bye.